Well, today at Hotel Iguana, but a different video than I normally do, we have opened up our restaurant called Cocktails and Crabs, and I thought, well, it'd be interesting to show you guys how we go ahead and make a New Orleans style crab broil. So first we have our crab, we have our sausages. For this one it's going to be mild, so we're not using the spicy sausages. You need your corn, your potatoes, freshly cut garlic, limes, eggs. Important part is the rum and orange juice, but that's for the chef, because the chef can't make London broil if he's not drinking rum and orange juice. Alright, so let's get going. We've got our boiling water. Right, so I go ahead and pre-cut the corn. So once you've got the boiling water, I start off by putting the corn and the potatoes into the boiling water. Now I personally do the potatoes and the corn for a minimum of an hour. I try and do it for an hour and a half, and I find that way the corn and the potatoes are perfect. So we've got lovely Dominican fresh limes. I go ahead and just give them a bit of a pre-roll, cut them in half, and we go ahead and juice the limes. Just a little thing I was going to show you that I found. So if you go ahead and cut the lime like this, that way, in other words, through the top and the bottom where the ends are, when you cut the lime like that, then you cut it into the quarters, you're actually left with the main segment. So when you come to squeeze them, it's not there. So if you actually go ahead and cut the lime in half like that, so you're actually left with this half of the lime. Now you go ahead and cut that into sections. It gives you a much better lime to squeeze and get the juice. Just a little bit of a lime tip. Now for our next trick, I like to draw the butter. No, that doesn't mean you take a piece of paper and draw the butter. It's for those of you that know, you know. For those of you that don't know, effectively the butter we get has fat and water in it. So when you actually melt it on a slow heat, the water goes to the bottom and the fat rises to the top. So you scoop the fat off, and we'll show you in a bit. And then the middle part is the fresh drawn butter, which is the pure butter, and I believe it gives a better flavor. Let's get to drawing butter. Now the most important part of making a New Orleans crab broil is you have to make yourself a beverage, because there is no possible way that you could possibly make a good New Orleans style crab broil if you're not having a rum and orange juice. Totally impossible. It'll never work. It'll never taste the same. Right, so when you come along, you can actually see that is the fat, unwanted fat. So we go ahead. I've already put some into the frying pan. I use that to do the camarones or the shrimp, so we didn't waste not, want not. But you just take it off and let that settle again, and you will see that is the fat. And then this here, that is actually the pure drawn butter, and at the very bottom is where the water's at. We're also limited with the sausages we get in the Dominican Republic, so which work the best. I know you're supposed to use a spicy Italian, like a Southern-style sausage, and I've tried that. We haven't really got it. Anyway, these brats that I'm using, the Johnson brats, you get the mild one, brat sausage, you get the mild one, you get the Italian sweet one, and you get the chorizo one. And I found these work great. But once again, if I just take the sausage and I put it in boiling water, you get like a boiled sausage, and I don't think that comes out really nicely, like, I don't know, it just doesn't look nice in texture. So I go ahead and put the sausages on the grill first, and I just get the outside of the sausage nice and grilled, and then I go ahead and put it in the water. So I put the potatoes, the corn, I then put the sausages in, do my shrimp separately, because once again I find that the shrimp, if you do the shrimp just in the water, the shrimp don't really take on the flavor. So I do the shrimp, I'll show you how we do the shrimp in a minute. So I do the shrimp separately, and then the last 20 minutes I go ahead and put the crab in. So the crab goes into the boiling water with the corn and the sausages and the potatoes. I put the eggs in like 5 minutes before. I find like 4 to 5 minutes you get the eggs really nice. So I go ahead and put those in, and then when I go ahead we'll show you how we package it all up. So I just like to get a nice little char on the sausages, and I find that good. So you can kind of see they're still not cooked. I now put in the boiling water the potatoes and the corn, and I just find that when I give them a char, it just gives it a better texture when you're eating it, and I like it. Because I've just started to bring the butter for a boil for the shrimp, and that's the remainder of the drawn butter. We come over here and we have a lovely bowl of drawn butter. So the balance of the butter that's over there, we're going to go put some garlic in, so that becomes the garlic butter. So for my shrimp, I go ahead and get the butter and the garlic and the spices to a real slow broil. Get the shrimp in and just give them a nice little bit of a glaze over, and then once they've just got a nice glaze to them, I go ahead and I add the lime juice and a little bit of salsa. Yeah. So I never actually fry them, I just bring them to a low sizzle, and that's what I found gives me the juiciest shrimp. So this is pretty much the fastest of a boil, broil, I get the shrimp. And that's pretty much it. And I just let it sit for a simmer for a little bit, so we get rid of the liquid, the moisture from the beer and the lime juice. And then they're done, and I'm no Gordon Ramsay. However, all my life people love my shrimp and my camaronis, and I never made any of this up. Somewhere along my life somebody taught me this, and I've noticed if you fry them, they're not the same. If you don't add the beer, it's not the same. If you don't use freshly squeezed lime juice, they're not the same. So freshly squeezed lime juice, good butter, freshly crushed garlic and cut garlic, bring it up, a little bit of salsa, and you'll be the Camaroni star.
Feels so good.